Who knew that you could live long enough to see yourself become the best character in a show? Rewind to season 1 of House of the Dragon, and Otto Hightower to me was an annoying, passive aggressive, always just nudging his little goals further, manipulating King Viserys. And then when there was a moment for him to strike and seize the throne basically for his family, he took advantage of that. Fast forward to season 2, and we have started season 2, a couple episodes in, and this dude is the one guy that I'm like, at least this guy's making sense. He's playing the Game of Thrones very well, and he's surrounded by idiots. Remy, what is your thoughts of whether or not Otto Hightower may have out of nowhere, out of left field, is that Otto Hightower's music or intro music? Is he the best character right now in House of the Dragon?
Otto Hightower off the top rope, DDT or DDP on Sir Criston Cole and King Aegon.
This is not Aegon the Younger. Aegon,
yeah, dude, just out of nowhere, I was just like, oh my, thank God! Like that's the best scene we've got in this show so far, or probably in the show. Or at least
season 1 had the King Viserys enters the
that's good.
room.
That's good.
That's the pinnacle of the show so far. But yes, this has been the highlight of the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, he exactly like you said. Where in the first season he just seems like sneaky, has like some kind of crazy ulterior motive, but it seems like no, he just genuinely wants what's best for the throne with the least amount of violence possible. And he is surrounded by murderous children running things that have more say than they should. And he's just fed up with it. He's just like, okay, we're going to do this thing. It's fucked up, but we're going to parade your dead, decapitated child through the streets, which that scene when it's rocking back and forth, and you expect that the baby's head is just gonna fall off.
I thought that.
I was waiting for that, dude. If that happened, that would have been crazy. But so awesome, satisfying to watch him just rip King Aegon a new one, and Sir Criston Cole's dumbass just sitting there. So satisfying, and definitely made me immediately Team Otto above everybody else in the show.
I feel like Game of Thrones, every episode they do kind of make one character like super badass. We're going to change perceptions of what you guys thought this character was, and Otto definitely was it in this episode.
What have you done? The rat catchers!
His argument with Aegon, and of course it starts off with I think it's like, this makes me seem weak, is like the throne, or the everyone already knows you're weak, and it's just like how he says those like little jabs and those burning little comments and things. And then that argument, I mean, I was on the edge of my couch being like, I can't believe you're fucking saying this stuff to the king, and it's like, he's not the king, he's my grandson, kind of stuff. And then Cole kind of stepping in, saying like, well, I sent Buddy off to the Red Keep, right, to Eric, and he's like, you did what, and that's when he just melts right there. And I was never on Team Otto until now, and I think you're getting him way too much credit. He's always in for himself. Him and his daughter, he wants to put on the very top of the world no matter what. And so I really feel like that we're gonna see some backlash to a lot of this situation, of course, with Aegon sending away one of his best guys. But I mean, Daemon has always been my favorite character, and I think Otto is now inching his way up to that Daemon level.
I agree, Jason. I would say that Otto puts his family first, then the kingdoms, but it is definitely a priority, whereas it is not a priority with his grandson, who's just at this point just bloodlust, out for revenge. And that scene is so great because we've seen Otto be completely even keeled through basically everything to this point. No matter what happens, he always stays like calm and rational. And at this point, through that scene, he loses it. He's very angry, and then he's emotional.
Idiot!
Beware how you speak to your king, my lord.
The king is my grandson, and my grandson is a fool. He's worse than a fool. He's murdered innocent men.
And then he still tries to be rational. But the best, it's worth going back and rewatching it for the moment when he's arguing, and then Aegon says, "Oh well, Sir Criston Cole is already handling the situation." And there's a moment he pauses and he ostensibly closes his eyes to roll them, and he says,
And what has Sir Criston Cole done?
it's so good. Just the offensiveness of the idea that Sir Criston Cole has any good ideas is so just perfectly captured in that freeze frame. Rhys Ifans just brilliant acting. So wonderfully done.
He's pretending to be his own twin. Brilliant.
God's help us all.
I mean, talk about brilliant acting and so many great scenes in this episode. So I wrote down here, might be my favorite Game of Thrones episode ever. Like
what?
This episode, yeah.
Oh,
this
okay.
episode right
Hold on.
No.
Jason, put down the crack pipe. Put it down,
yeah.
Jason. Put it down right now.
Yeah, like I know Battle of Bastards, and we got some really great ones in the last season. But as far as like what Game of Thrones is and how it just really propels a lot of the characters and what directions they're going, because we get a lot of the Eric versus Eric fight. I mean, at the end is the climax of the episode, but there's so much of the reaction with the murder of the prince, how you see what Otto and anyone in power does to manipulate things, and how the actual Game of Thrones things works is done so well in this. And then we're really getting a lot of just what this whole season is going to be about. And then like actors being great actors. I mean, Daemon and Rhaenyra in that talk where they're talking about his trust for her and having the throne. Fantastic scene of those two. And then even how Aegon and Helena, his wife's sister, how they react, that stop on the stairs when they're both like walking past each other. They have some quick eye glance, and then they keep moving. There's so many great scenes in this show or this episode where it's like so much unspoken and then very well spoken acting done within this. So I mean, yeah, I'm almost on the team. This might be one of the top episodes in my opinion, like ever.
That's insane. That's insane to say, Jason.
I know.
The Battle of the Bastards, Cersei blowing up the Sept, the Red Wedding, the battle with the Viper. I mean, I could literally name off 100 scenes that are better, or 100 episodes that are better.
Yeah, those are all fight scenes. They're all fights. This was a really good like acting one in my opinion. I mean, yes, the action is great, and we haven't seen much dragons, but
Jaime talking to Bree, talking to Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
there's a non-fight scene that's really good. Anyway, yes, the moment when Otto rolls his eyes and is just so disgusting. I can't wait to put that in this video. I can't wait to rewatch
him throwing the hand like little thing down.
Oh yeah,
disgust.
He leaves the door open as he walks out. Like he's not even gonna bother to close the door.
And Aegon's like, "You may leave."
No, he's like, "You're dismissed. You're dismissed." As he's already walking out, he's like, "You fucker."
Petty battle. Rhaenyra. So this is where other characters just get dumber and dumber. How old is Rhaenyra supposed to be now?
20s, late 20s, early
20-something,
30s.
right?
Yeah.
20s, 30s, maybe 30. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
How stupid is she? Like, she's bewildered. Like, her son gets eaten by a dragon, and then she's like horrified that they retaliate and kill a baby. Like, it's only worse because the baby was a few years younger than her son who got eaten. Like, her level of disgust doesn't really make sense to me, because considering how she's bloodthirsty in the episode, the previous episode, of being like, I want him dead, and then it's just like, oh, you killed somebody else in the family. Oh my God, that's so awful. How could you? Like, you're out for blood. Like, don't mince words and just being like, oh, I want blood, but it's only got to be a specific person. Like, no, you want them all dead. Don't backtrack and makes Daemon seem like so idiotic, or like, how could you? I just thought that was that shit was dumb, and I already don't like Rhaenyra to begin with, really, but I thought that part was just like, this is stupid that you would be so anti. Like, you could be like, okay, that wasn't the person we wanted to kill, sure, but at the end of the day, you're out for blood. Like, don't pretend you're not.
I am afraid that they are putting Rhaenyra in the horrible trend of movie and TV characters where, oh, it's not my fault. And like, she is in this position where ultimately she's going to have a lot of blood on her hands regardless. And the way they're handling her, at least through the first 2 episodes, or at least especially at the episode 2, is that, oh no, like I'm a good person. Oh yeah, the kid got decapitated, like, but it's not my fault. It is like, it benefits me, but it's not my fault. And I'm afraid that we're just not going to commit to like her getting her hands dirty and it's other people. And is the show going to just slant itself? Because I know a lot of people that have read the books have said, and I haven't read the books or the book, but a lot of people are saying that they're portraying Rhaenyra much more favorably and not as, it's slanted towards making her look like the good side versus Alicent's side.
I think the whole core of this entire season, and especially those 2 characters, are going to be that they are ultimately trying to like do right, and then everyone around them is trying to do wrong, because they're going to harp on this old relationship, them being friends, them actually like being good people, loving each other, but the consequences around them and the people, or the consequences that the people create around them, is why they're in the positions they are. And I think that's a really cool story to say, where it's like, I want the best. I didn't want any of the sons to die, you know, even though she says, I want Aegon, and he takes that as a, or no, it's Aegon. I want, what's the one? Aemon, yes, the one-eyed brother. I want Aemon, and he uses that as a, you know, an angle just to be Daemon. I mean, he could have taken that as anything. It was like, I want to talk to Aemon, you know, bring him in. But Daemon just jumps on the opportunity to just do anything, like crazy Daemon style. But I love this, that these 2, and I think they're going to keep playing this as like good people, and they can't control the people around them. And wait, and as far as Rhaenyra, hold on, one more. And Rhaenyra being dumb, remember, this is like, all she cares about is her claim for the throne and what the people around her care about. Because the name of that episode is Rhaenyra the Cruel. Like, she now has that title for being this baby killer, and that's the exact last thing she ever wanted. So yeah, maybe deep down she wanted some kids to be killed or something like that, but not at the expense of just damaging her own conquest for the throne or her own character.
Rhaenyra and Starlight, baby killers. So
the similarities between the 2. Oh, there we go. Do a whole episode on that.
So I'm kidding. I do love the Daemon moment when he and Rhaenyra are arguing, and she's accusing him of doing it on purpose, of having him killed, and he's saying, no, I tried to kill Aemon, and she keeps bringing it up, and there's just a pause, and he just says, it was a mistake. But there's such a pause there that it's like, not even you believe, like, you don't even believe yourself, but like, you're just saying like the narrative, and Matt Smith just crushes that. But I am curious to see where those characters, kind of where everyone ends up over the course of the next 6 episodes. I do.
Eric versus Eric. I'm sorry. I want to talk about Eric versus Eric so bad.
There is a problem with the show where, like you said, Eric versus Eric, and I was like, I don't even know. And I'm like, oh yeah, the brothers. But that's the problem that I have with this show, Jason. And you, prior to recording, recommended pulling up the family tree from their website. And I think that's a great idea, because it's so hard to keep track of which characters I actually have seen and know before. Like, the 2 black dudes that show up that start talking about the sea snake, I'm like,
I have no idea. Yeah.
Have I met these characters before? Like, there's so many characters. And it was the same in season 1 of Game of Thrones, where I'm like trying to who's who and what. And then at some point, I just decided to pull up a map of Westeros. And then anytime on the show, they'd be like, oh, we're going here, we're going there. And then I could finally mentally map it out. So I think, Jason, that would be a good idea to pull up a family tree when watching the next episode, because I'm just like, I don't remember half of these characters I'm watching.
Hey, when you were reading Lord of the Rings, how cool was it to look at that map in the beginning of the book to try to figure out where they were going and things like that? So adding a depth to something where you have to have some external knowledge to get everything that's going on, I think that's a great factor to add to a show.
Yep, a clip that I want to include into this, that I'll post right here, is Damon's walk is so, it's almost silly because he walks the exact same way. It's very, he like hunches, and I can't do it because I'm like in his tight corner and I can't turn around and show you guys how he does this, but he walks with his head forward and his arms, and he's kind of like this, kind of doing borderline Conor McGregor Roadhouse walk. It's borderline. I'll put a comparison actually of these two because in my mind they're similar, where he's like got his head forward and kind of, it's like just a very dramatic walk, which, I mean, yeah, Matt Smith is a great actor, so I don't think it's anything bad, but it's just funny that every single time he turns around to walk away, it's like the exact same way that he walks, which is funny. I don't know if you guys noticed that at all, but
yep, no, he has a very distinctive walk.
That's an astute observation, because yeah, he does that forehead forward thing, and I don't know if it's just cinematic or like if like how he walks in real life. I'd be curious to see how Matt Smith, like if the paparazzi are on him and he's still doing that. But Jason, Eric versus Eric. This whole episode leads to Sir Criston's great plan to send the twin to kill the twin.
It's so funny that we were just talking shit about alkaloids and the twins and stuff like that, and it's like how much better show. Shocker that Game of Thrones has a good twins thing, but I mean, like Civil War vibes, you know, of like having to fight brother versus brother, and I love those two characters, and I love the first season how they had to split because this was a family split, you know, and it's like, and I love from the first episode or season as well, like this whole thing was based on a family splitting and who was going to take sides on what family, and for two brothers to take the opposite sides felt very north versus south kind of thing. But I mean, done very well. I mean, I thought this was going to be some ridiculous like stumbles into the room, you know, and I got here easily, but I felt like it was a hard trial for Eric with an E or Eric with an A. I can't remember which one is which, like because it's spelled like ARRYK and Sir Eric ERRYK. So I don't know which A and E is, but it's so well done and like so like heartbreaking too. And I think in the books because I haven't read them and I just did a little research on how these two died, but it plays out similar, but the other brother doesn't die immediately, but he's like for 4 days he's in some cell cursing his brother's name as he dies, you know, and this is the traitorous one because I'm on Team Rhaenyra, but this way done so well where he just falls on his sword after killing his brother, and how you can see the remorse, and then just we came from the same place, you know, it's so many of those lines where it's like duty outweighs so much, and I think that's another embodiment of Game of Thrones is how some people put duty above absolutely everything else. So no, there's these super emotional, heartfelt fights. That's why I watch the show.
Very on the heels of watching Shogun, it felt like a very Shogun sort of moment. With like, a really emotional fight between two people, or two brothers, and then basically committing seppuku at the end.
Yeah.
I have dishonored my family. God. That was very entertaining, and I like kind of the aspect of not knowing who's who, and I was like when the one Eric finally, you know, kills the other, like you're not sure who actually won, and then it's like, is he about to like jump on Rhaenyra? Obviously, you know, Rhaenyra's not about to die in that scene because the show's got to keep going. But like, I thought that was well done for a twin fight. I thought it was pretty well done.
There was a Pirates of the Caribbean line that I thought of. You are without a doubt the worst assassin I've ever seen. It's like that. It's just he walks in the room. He's like 30 feet away, pulls out his sword. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And it's like, you know, you could have just walked right up to her without saying anything and just got her right there. But obviously, like Remy said, show has to go on. So yeah, is any other tidbits before we move on to the final 6 episodes?
Piece of shit Cole. I'd like to talk shit about Cole.
Oh yeah, we didn't actually. Yeah, hold on. We do need to talk about fucking fuckboy McGillicuddy, Criston Cole.
There we go. I've had a feeling you want to talk shit about him.
Dude, this fucking guy, dude. He doesn't get laid for all of like 12 hours and is like, fucking God, I'm going to send this man off to die. Like, what a little bitch, dude. What a little fucking bitch. Just, oh God, just a whiny asshole. Has the, like, he's getting laid by the queen and still has all this pent up, like, and like excess anger that, because he fucked up. He's got to take it out on good old Eric boy.
I mean, hopefully it's some guilt involved in there too. Like I was, you know, banging the mom why I should have been hanging out with the kids kind of thing. But God, man. Yeah, he's a fuckboy, but now he's the hand of the king, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants now. Now he's gonna it's all game on now.
No, it's funny that the internet hates Criston Cole so much. To the point where the actor had to, or the actor muted or turned off comments on his Instagram because people were just going to his Instagram and just being like, "You're a piece of shit. I can't wait for you to die." And it's just like, dude, the fact that people can't separate the character and the actor, which, by the way, he should have just posted a video being like, "Hey guys, I'm glad everyone's enjoying the show. You know, I am a real person. I am not Criston Cole. Like, please stop telling me myself." Like, he could have done that. But it's such a Criston Cole move to turn off comments. Like, I don't want to hear any criticism. That's page.